Earlier this year, I described many of these policies as modern supply-side economics. Now, with an economy at full employment, we are uniquely suited for a supply-side expansion that delivers sustainable growth and reduces inequality.
So this is the game that they play as far as full employment. Well, it's the same trickery we've seen so many times. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines that have left the labor market. If you work at a company, you realize how hard it is to find good people right now. That's not because the economy is so strong. That's simply because nobody's working. Not nobody, but a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. A lot of good people have just decided not to work. By the way, modern supply side economics, as she's talking about, effectively means printing a lot of money and just artificially boosting the economy, which is what we've been seeing. Meanwhile, we're starting to see the markings of a very dark economic future. Author of Taking Back Trump's America, Trump's former trade advisor, Peter Navarro, joins me now. And it's good to see you, sir. You look at workforce participation. It's still down about a point from where it was. Yep. They're bragging so hard about this economy. I believe that this economy is still relatively strong in spite of their policies and not because of them. What do you say?
Two words, cognitive dissonance. I think if you look at what the Biden and Yellen folks are saying about the economy and what the American people are feeling in their pocketbooks, it's like the Grand Canyon. It's an unbridgeable gap. They're trying to sell you something in advance of the November elections. The American public's not going to buy it. If you drill down, this whole idea of Janet Yellen co-opting the term supply-side economics and trying to say that their Keynesian gorge demand-side spending somehow is going to change the structure of economy in a good way, not going to hunt. Think about this. Let me give you a couple of examples here. They're pouring a lot of money into electric charging stations, right, and tax credits for electric vehicles. Now, we know now that Gavin Newsom, with the electricity shortage out in California, just told everybody to stop using their charging stations. So they finally figured out that electricity is needed for these cars. But if you look at the other end, tax credits, this is like the Tesla Full Employment Act, but not for cars made in the U.S. They're made in China. What we're doing, Rob, with this plan is exporting and increasing our supply chain dependencies on the electric vehicle supply chain broadly construed around the world, whether it's batteries or anything that go into cars. So that's just crazy stuff.
I want to ask about, obviously you have a new report that came out from the Federal Reserve. It shows U.S. net worth decline in the second quarter the most on record, 6.1 trillion from April to June. That's one indicator. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I talked to a guy earlier today, and he was talking about the mortgage bond market, which, he was talking about some company that wraps up these mortgages and sells them and how that is softening in a big way that he sees. It seems like when you talk to these Wall Street guys, they see all these indications all over the place of what's coming here, while at the same time the White House is telling us that everything is just so good.
As a forecaster, Rob, I always looked at what the bonds market was doing, what the stock market was doing. The stock market has been hemorrhaging, right? That's not good for, but it's going down. That tells you that the recession part of the equation is grabbing around us. At the same time, the bond market's going down, which means the interest rates are going up. That's the inflation part. So you got very clearly a stagflation scenario being signaled in the financial markets, and they're right. And then if you just look around the world, I mean, Europe should scare the hell out of us, because what's going on there, we could see up to or more of a 10% drop in their GDP over the next 6 to 9 months, simply because of the energy crisis that's been precipitated by Ukraine. Now, what does that mean? That means the euro is going to go down. We're going to buy more stuff from them, but it'll be more expensive because their supply chains are screwed up. Our trade deficit's going to get screwed up, and we'll basically import both their inflation and their recession. We're going to be importing Europe's stagflation. Wow. And then if you look at China, with their crazy lockdown policies there, they're producer price index is off the charts. We're going to be importing
scary.
their inflation. So it's very hard, Rob, to see any kind of scenario other than a bad one for the American people. And the American people feel it in their bones.
Yeah,
I mean, the trade deficit went down.
Right.
That should be good news. But it went down because people aren't buying stuff.
Right. Yeah. Peter Navarro laying it out for us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Rob, good to see you again, sir.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.